Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I'm Brad Rohrer.
And I'm Chuck, the student, Staten.
Wow.
That's a foreshadow.
Ominous.
Yes. Not ominous, but foreshadow.
Full of omni.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I don't know if omni is a word.
I do know. No.
Oh.
Yes.
Rats.
Yep.
And what kind of grits am I getting?
I don't know that.
Hominy grits.
Hominy grits. What the hell is that?
It's a type of grit
Wow.
that you're getting at like Waffle House.
Hominy?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's this certain type of corn that they use to make the grits.
This really is a Rohrer You Know episode.
It wasn't supposed to be about grits, but let me tell you,
Yes, it was.
I've had them twice.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah, I like a grit.
Yeah. Can I tell you a cornbread story? It's not really a story. I had the best cornbread of my life over 20 years ago, and I've been chasing that high ever since.
Really?
Yeah, a friend made it at down at Arkansas. She was in my grad program, and she had a bunch of us over for. She did fried chicken,
Yeah.
toolbox taters, which were like diced potatoes and onions mixed up, and
In a toolbox?
I mean,
In
that's
an old rusty toolbox, and the rust is part of the flavor?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
extra iron, extra oxide. And then she did cornbread, and I was like, oh, I would eat this cornbread as like a cake.
Wow.
And so I went to say, did you make it from a mix? And she stopped me, and she said, Jiffy is a dirty word in this household.
Wow.
Because of the Jiffy cornbread mix. And I was like, okay, that's the only kind I've ever had. This is amazing. And then I never got to have it again.
Oh, yeah. I love cornbread.
Yeah.
And corn muffins. Woo-wee.
I mean, at the rib place I go to when I'm visiting my folks, they have cornbread cakes as a side. So it's like cornbread pressed down like a pancake.
How is it?
Amazing.
Oh, I love cornmeal.
You know, like I'm sopping up barbecue sauce with it.
My mom one time made us Chex Mix, and it was a cornmeal Chex Mix that she made, and it was fucking amazing.
Aurelio's, the pizza place I worked at,
Yes.
does cornmeal like on the cutting board.
Yeah.
Like to help the pizza slide off into the box or onto the pan or whatever. And so to me, that's how the bottom of a pizza is supposed to taste and feel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I had so many of those pizzas over the years.
That's crazy. I like that. That sounds like an interesting flavor combo with cheese and sauce.
I mean, it's more, you know, it's probably more texture than anything. You know, Pizza King,
Yeah.
different chain of Midwest pizza restaurants. It's a very salty bottom of the crust.
Yeah.
Which is also great.
Yeah. Oat milk.
I
I
just
think
like
about,
pizza. That's
I think
what it
about
comes down
oat
to.
milk and how much of an oatmeal flavor there is to it.
I had an oat milk drink this morning and I didn't notice.
That's the thing is I don't
Coffee
know.
flavor.
I don't know if there's an. I think there's kind of one, especially if you drink it straight.
Okay. Yeah.
If you have it put in coffee, I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit diluted, delusional. But I think if you have it like as a cereal thing with Cocoa Pebs, ooh baby, what Cocoa Pebs?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. If you're going to abbreviate one, abbreviate both. That was my concern.
Natalie hates my abbreviations. Well, she playfully hates them and secretly loves them. You know which one she doesn't love?
that?
The one that she likes the most, I should say.
Yep.
CT Crunch. Do you like that one?
That's a good one. There is a new CT Crunch flavor, root beer float.
RBF?
And I
In
almost
the CT Crunch?
I almost bought some for us to try on our pool day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's so weird. It's so sugary. You
We're
know,
in the pool.
We're clogging the filter with CT.
Yeah. Oh man. It'd be funny if there came out like a cinnamon toast and the next thing started with an E.
Yep.
And we were talking about CTE.
Yep.
And you're like, I don't like CTE. Well, you know, you were like,
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I had so much CTE yesterday. My head is spinning.
I know a lot of people don't like CTE, but I'm for it.
Yeah.
I
think more NFL players should get CTE. Cinnamon toast eggs.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're overheard. It's like an old sitcom.
Yep.
All right, what are we here to do, baby?
So occasionally on Funbearable, Chuck will assign me a topic and ask me to teach him and by extension the audience, you, about said topic.
And the movie Coyote versus ACME
coming out on August 28th. And Chuck said, you know, I don't know a lot about the history of Wile E. Coyote and or the Roadrunner.
which I kind of consider my favorite Looney Tunes series of shorts. And I say that because there are individual ones that I like a lot.
Yes.
Especially if you extend it to like the entire Looney Tunes universe, like Tiny Toons and stuff. But as a series, I just always enjoyed the simplicity of the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner shorts.
Very much so.
Yeah. And I'm excited for the new movie.
Yes.
Bill Hader, John Cena, right?
Will Forte.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Will Forte. John Cena?
Yes.
Nice.
And many others as well. So the segment, because my last name is Rohrer, is called The Rohrer You Know.
Woo-wee!
And today, The Rohrer You Know is about the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I wanted to make this a little more interactive, a little more Socratic than me just lecturing.
Yes.
So I have some multiple choice questions that I will give to Chuck occasionally, or I will ask him for some short answer questions or things like that. And we'll make sure we give you, the listener/viewer, time to answer as well. There are no points. There are no grades. There is no point to any of this. But
yes.
With that in mind,
yeah.
Question 1.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. It's right away questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I'll go into the...
Yeah, of course.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner first appeared in which decade?
Oh, God.
A, the 1940s. B, the 1950s. C, the 1960s as civil rights icons. D, the 1860s as Civil War icons. Sometimes I put jokes in my questions.
I'm going to go C.
As civil rights icons?
I don't know. The fact that it's in there. Well, you did. Okay, here's my thinking. A and B.
You're overthinking.
A and B possibilities.
Okay.
C, wow, this is interesting.
Yep.
And D, a play on the original interesting thing.
Or I did 3 decades in a row and needed a 4th thing, came up with the Civil War joke and had to backfill.
Oh, okay. B.
It's not C or D. The answer is actually A.
Whoa.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner are blah, blah, blah. First appeared in 1949 in the theatrical short ... Question 2. The first theatrical short shared a punny name with which Chuck and Brad favorite film series? A, Fast and Furious. B, Hallow Speed. C, The Unironed Man. Or D, Coyote Ugly.
Gotta be A.
Fast and Furious is correct.
So 1949, first thing is called Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, there was a theatrical film called The Fast and the Furious.
I think it was it called that or was it called Fast and Furious? I think you're right. You're right.
Because, and then Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were able to reuse that for the first movie, but didn't have the rights or didn't want to pay to keep reusing the title. So that's why they went to Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Furious 5.
Wow, that's the reason. The reason that all the Furious movies have different names is because they didn't want to use the Fast and the Furious again.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy because it has been like a point of contention.
Right.
Why do they change the title, everyone?
Yep.
Was it Fast 6, Furious 7?
Yeah, something like that.
It's crazy.
Yep. Fate of the Furious. I don't remember what 9 was.
Did they ever go back to the Fast and the Furious?
No.
They here's what they should have done. They should have done this. This is my personal feelings. The Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
That's what they did. Fast and Furious 2. Fast and Furious 3. Why didn't they just use Fast and Furious?
It's a great question for Vin Diesel.
Because it would seem like, I'll put it this way, to the outside audience that doesn't know the inside of the thing.
Right.
The Fast and the Furious, fine.
Yep.
The Fast and the Furious 2 subtitle is kind of wordy.
Yep.
So shortening it, Fast and Furious 2, would just seem to the general public like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They want to shorten it. And they wouldn't even notice the difference, to be honest. So I'm surprised they didn't do that.
I think they did Too Fast, Too Furious to get around it and then realized, you know, when they wanted to get back to Fast and Furious in the 4th film, they were like, well, we've done the gimmick of changing titles for each film in the saga. which, by the way, when I wrote the question, I had the word saga in it, which is giveaway. So I had to change it.
Yeah.
And I think they were like, well, we just have to keep changing it and rely on marketing.
That's really interesting.
So
I think Fast Five is a great title, though.
So Wile E, Coyote, and Roadrunner in Fast and Furious in 1949. As we all suspect, the Roadrunner is constantly trying to catch and eat the Coyote is trying to catch and eat the Roadrunner and is never successful.
Yes.
They were created by Chuck Jones, famous animator, and writer Michael Maltese. They, were in theatrical shorts and then made for TV cartoons. It was originally meant to parody.
So it started out. How long were they theatrical shorts before they became like cartoons on television?
In about 20 years.
What?
Yeah.
So how many were there in that 20 years? You think?
Chuck, I have it later in the thing.
That's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Can I have a quick sidebar?
Yes, of course.
I've recently thought the name Jones. Cool name.
Casey Jones. Indiana Jones.
Jonesy the cat from Alien.
Wow. All right, that's 3. We hit it. Rule of 3s.
Isn't that cool, though?
Yeah.
What do you think about Jones?
It's weird because the other one in contemporary American culture is Smith. And I think of Agent Smith.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Smithy the cat from the Alien series.
Smithy.
He was a blacksmith.
So, I gotta say, I don't think Smith. I think of Smith as a fake generic name.
Okay.
I really do. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, is it a fake name?
Yeah.
Okay. But Jones, man, that's a cool name.
I remember oh my gosh, I think it was
if your name was Bradley Jones, you got a different life, man. You're the coolest kid in school.
I think it was Walter Matthau, and he was filming something.
Yeah.
And he had to say a character name in like the mafia or something.
Yeah.
And he gave the name, and the writers were like, wait, no, that's too common of a name. We have to think of something different. And so they were discussing like the most common names with Walter Matthau in this conversation. And they're like, well, the most popular surname in the world is Chang, and then Patel, and all, they're going through all these different cultures. And they're like, all right, for the, let's use this name, this either Italian or American name. And he's like, okay. And so they're going through and they're like, oh, what did you think of that, Walter Matthau? And he's like, it reminds me of old No Neck Chang. And everyone just lost it because he brought in this different culture and it made no sense with the mafia, and he just delivered it super dryly.
That's very funny.
I probably read about it in Reader's Digest 25 years ago.
That's funny. I'll tell you one more Jones.
Okay.
So me and my friends, when we were 18, 19, we all used to go to Friendly's all the time. In the time it was Swansea, Massachusetts. And a bunch of us would go. There's pictures of me and Christian dressed up as clowns for our old friend Tom's birthday. And our waitress that we often got that would play around with us and joke around with us was like 50 years old. She was this kind of weird lady, missing some teeth. And her name Bones Jones. How's that for a name?
That's a name.
That's a good name.
It's a name.
What if your nickname was Bones Jones?
I mean, there's an MMA fighter, John Bones Jones.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Is he cool? He sounds cool already.
I think he might have I think there might be some issues.
CTE?
Yep. Cinnamon toast eggs.
What is his issues?
I don't remember. There's some.
He's probably jacked.
There are probably some.
Probably could beat some people up, I bet.
There's some MMA fighters with some issues. Getting
I think so.
Punched in the head repeatedly leads to problems.
Yeah.
Cinnamon toast eggs for everyone.
I think Bones Jones is cool. That's a cool name.
I thought you were going to say her name was Joan Jones.
No. You know what would be cool?
What's that?
If I made a series of Halloween stories about a character that was like spreading the love of Halloween and stopping the monsters, but he's like the monster that's good.
Yeah.
Not like Monsters Inc. Because is Monsters Inc. good, or are all the monsters good?
The movie, they scare kids to get energy, and then they later learn that's not the best way to get energy.
So all the monsters are kind of...
It's a precursor to the Green New Deal.
Okay. Perfect. But what if I had like a skeleton pirate, and he was the one trying to spread the good word of Halloween? Bones Jones. What do you think about that for a cool skeleton pirate?
Go ahead and write it.
Do you think it's cool?
Yes, of course. Davy Jones, the Locker, also the Monkees.
Davy Jones. We got Indiana Jones, Davy Jones. Who else you say?
Jonesy the Cat.
And then you said one more.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. All cool Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
Jones is cool. Jones is cool. Cool is Jones. This is something is people.
Yes.
I think Jones is cool. I don't want to interrupt your thing too much talking about Jones.
Really?
But
the Rohrer You Know, Jones.
yeah. There was a... Okay, you know what? How about this? In a later episode, I'm going to continue talking about a Halloween character that is good and friendly. Maybe we'll save it for October.
Makes sense.
Okay, I'm going to write it down right
Thank you.
now. Save story about... What's a good word? Noble Halloween.
Oh boy.
Character.
Yeah. Keep announcing each word one word at a time, like you're reading numbers at a bingo parlor.
B7.
Yes. You know, one of my gripes is when people give a fake bingo number that they don't get the letter and the number correct. Because B is 1 through 15, I is 16 through 30. And you know, as far as gripes go, it's pretty minimal.
Yeah, it's a small gripe. Yeah. Sour gripes. All right, go ahead.
All right. They were originally meant to parody chase cartoon characters such as Tom and Jerry. Then Wile E, Coyote, and Roadrunner became popular in their own right.
They were meant as a parody character?
To make
parody characters.
Yes, parody characters of Tom and Jerry and the like.
That's really strange.
Yes.
It's interesting that they were parody characters. It kind of makes sense, though, because the Coyote fails so hard.
Yes.
Whereas in, like, you know, Tom and Jerry, it's kind of a little bit more ambiguous.
Yeah.
But the Roadrunner and Coyote is so extreme that I guess it makes sense that it was a parody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Itchy and Scratchy are also a parody, but even more extreme.
Yes, exactly.
By 2014, 49 cartoons had been made featuring the characters, including 4 CGI shorts, the majority by Jones. And again, later...
2014?
Yeah.
And how many?
49.
49?
I know, it seems like it's so many more.
No, I mean, I can't think of 50, though.
Oh, yeah, but it
does seem like it's been around forever.
Yes.
So if it's been around at that point in time for 65 years, let's call it.
Yeah. Almost one a year.
Almost one a year.
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, another multiple choice question for you. This one is difficult, and I don't have a great joke answer. Which American author's description served as the basis for the Coyote? A, Ernest Hemingway. B, Hunter S. Thompson. C, William Faulkner. D, Mark Twain.
Gotta be B.
Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah.
I think your timeline is a little bit off there.
Oh, the reason I said it is just because of a middle initial. That's the only reason I picked it.
Chuck Jones based the Coyote on Mark Twain's book Roughing It, in which Twain described the Coyote as, quote, a long, slim, sick, and sorry-looking skeleton that is, quote, a living, breathing allegory of want.
Interesting.
He is always hungry.
Wow.
Yep. Blah, blah, blah. Oh,
that's really interesting.
The Coyote's name of Wile E is a pun of the word Wiley.
Yes, of course.
According to one issue of a Looney Tunes comic book, the E stands for Ethelbert.
That's a weird one.
Yep.
Wile Ethelbert Coyote. If someone remembers that, pop that out at a party. Pop out that fact.
Yeah, see how popular you get when you're like, hey, do you know what the E in Wile E Coyote stands for? Ethelbert. First of all, people are not going to agree with you, or like believe you. Secondly, they're not going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's true.
In there's a Joe Pera book about like a bathroom book for people who are using it not for pooping or peeing, but as a place to hide or whatever. And one of the questions he has to make conversation is, what's your favorite little guy? And then in parentheses, bug.
Oh, that's
And I'm
funny.
like, the idea of going into a party and being like, hey, quick question. What's your favorite little guy?
Yeah, that's fun. Can I ask you a question really quick?
Of course.
So Daffy Duck, I have to imagine Daffy at the time was widely used to mean like kooky and crazy.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny. Was Bugs an adjective at the time?
I think so. Also a little bit
Kooky.
yeah.
I think so too. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and then Wile E. Coyote. I wonder how come Daffy is just like a Daffy and he's not Wiley.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. Like Dr. Wily
Okay.
from Sonic. Dr. Wile E. Coyote.
Are you sure Dr. Wily was...
Oh, is it Mega Man?
It's Mega Man.
Dr. Wile E. Coyote in a Mega Man parody starring the Looney Tunes.
Oh, we'll get to some parodies down here.
That's interesting.
And one of the, you know, free response was we were going to talk about parodies and casting. So we'll get there.
Yeah. Porky Man.
Initially, it's most often pronounced Coyote, but in 2 cartoon shorts, he pronounces it Coyote.
French.
It just says with a diphthong. Early model sheets for the character prior to his initial appearance identified him as Don Coyote, a pun on Don Quixote.
That's great.
The Roadrunner's beep beep sound was inspired by a background artist's imitation of a car horn.
Yeah.
He preferred
Can you do it?
No. He preferred the spelling of HMEEP, or MWEEP, MWEEP. But
Wow.
in my mind, it's always been MEEP.
Yeah. Meep. Yeah.
In the main series, the Coyote does not speak, portrayed as a mute character who communicates with the use of signs. However, in a few cartoons, he does speak and has a notably upper-class American accent, often referring to himself as a genius or super genius. The 1965 short Zip Zip Hooray is his first speaking appearance in which he explains his desire to eat the Roadrunner. To like a group, like breaking a fourth wall to a group of kids.
Yeah.
I found it on Daily Motion, but I was in a coffee shop and I was like, I clicked play and then I'm like, wait a minute, my earphones are connected to my phone. Nothing is connected to my computer. It's just playing Looney Tunes music. I'm like,
Meep, meep.
yeah.
That
was very good.
was pretty good.
Do you remember the Simpsons joke where Homer was going to do some voice acting and went into the studio? And first of all, he asked if it was going to be broadcast live. And the voice actor was like, oh, it's hell on the animators.
Yeah.
And then she said she did the Roadrunner sound and she did meep. And he said, don't you mean meep, meep? And she's like, no, they only paid me for it once. The bastards doubled it in post.
That's a great joke.
It really is. It's with Simpsons.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Wile E. Coyote was also used in the Sheepdog shorts. Does you have anything about that?
Mm-mm.
Weren't there 2? Doesn't one have a red nose and one has a black nose?
In my mind, the sheepdog one has a red nose.
Okay.
So
I don't know if they call him.
It's possible, there's some reused animation that we'll get to in a little bit.
I will say, I don't think they call him Wile E. Coyote. I think
No.
they both have 1-syllable names.
Yeah.
Like you know how he checks in and out?
Yep.
It's like, hey, Frank. Hey, Ralph.
Yeah,
I think it's like that.
Yeah. The desert scenery, blah, blah, blah. It started out with realistic scenery and moved to more abstract scenery, especially after 1965, loosely based on the deserts of the southwestern United States, as we know. In his book, Chuck Amuck, The Life and Times of an Animated Cartoonist, Chuck Jones claimed that he and the artists behind the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoons adhered to some simple but strict rules. Now, before I do these rules, the rules were not often followed, and in an interview years after the series was made, Michael Maltese, the principal writer of the original cartoons, stated he had never heard of these or any rules and dismissed them as post-production observation. So whether it was intentional or not, these rules were basically followed, especially by the original animating team, the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes animating team, of how to write a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon.
Okay.
So with that in mind, number 1, the Roadrunner cannot harm the coyote except by going meep meep or beep beep.
What does that mean?
So
he could do it through like a megaphone?
Yeah,
and it would affect him?
But he's not going to kick Wile E. Coyote.
How would he hurt him with meep meep though? What do you think?
He wouldn't. If he's on a cliff edge and the rock is about to fall, maybe he says meep meep, or he says meep meep and he's past the cliff, and the rock falls at that moment. 2, no outside force can harm the Coyote, only his own ineptitude or the failure of the ACME products.
Can I say something?
Please do.
I thought that I have seen the Wile E. Coyote get hit with something that he did, and it forces him onto the road, and then a Mack truck hits him.
Yes, but that's because of his own aptitude. He caused it. Yeah,
okay.
He wouldn't just get run over by a truck. If he's in the middle of the road, it's because something he has done or an ACME product has failed, and it has put him in that position. 3, the Coyote could stop any time if he were not a fanatic. 4, no dialogue ever except beep beep, which again, we talked about a little bit. He had some dialogue later. The Roadrunner doesn't really speak. 5, the Roadrunner must stay on the road. Otherwise, logically, he would not be called a Roadrunner. So you think about like when he runs into the distance and the road kind of zigzags and the cloud of dust follows that rather than running straight across. All action must be confined to the natural environment of the 2 characters, the Southwest American desert. And again, there were exceptions later. They were in a Christmas cartoon, like in the mountains, dealing with snow, stuff like that. 7, all materials, tools, weapons, or mechanical conveniences must be obtained from the ACME Corporation. So not, And
was ACME ever real?
No.
Never?
I don't. Well, there probably was an ACME Corporation at some point.
Yeah. What does ACME stand for? Do we know?
It's not a
acronym?
Yes. It's like an ACME is like the highest you can get.
Okay.
I think Calvin has a line from a Calvin and Hobbes comic of like, everything led to me. I'm the ACME of evolution. It's also when you get a crossword puzzle and it's a 4-letter clue and it's like the highest point and you have the A, it's either Apex or ACME.
Okay.
All right. 8, whenever possible, make gravity the Coyote's greatest enemy.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's often.
9, the Coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's weird because like, as all these little cartoons aired, they broke some of these rules. And also like the way they were airing the cartoons changed, and like how much of him, like he's off a cliff and you see the overhead shot, like how much falling you see as he gets smaller and smaller. And then, so it was changes in animation style. And then also like networks cut it. Like if, he lit this rocket and blew up, and so his face is charred, people might think that's blackface. So we're going to cut that part out.
Wow.
Very weird.
That's weird.
Yep. It looks like Chuck Jones did 26 of the 49-ish.
So just over half.
Yep. There was a company that came in the mid-'60s called Depina Freeling Enterprises. Let me see here. Like a less animation, a lot of rotoscoped reused footage there. So they did 5 in the 60s. And then they had another company called Format Pictures that did 11. And they were lazy as all get out. Bad animation.
Yeah.
You're not seeing him fall. You're seeing like the poof on the ground, and it's reused. The poof is reused.
Wow.
Just skimping.
Yeah. Like Chipotle.
A little bit. My Chipotle today was great. In Chuck Jones cartoons, the Coyote usually tumbles or falls face up. Either way, he is more fully animated when he's falling than in his Depina Freeling Enterprises DFE era falls, which always show him falling face down and stiff, so you don't have to animate any arms moving.
Yeah, I think of him falling facing up at the camera.
Yeah.
Like you show him from that height and he looks at the camera as he falls.
Yeah.
Or I guess he does the thing where he looks and holds the sign and then falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
The Format Productions cartoons cheapen the falls even more by showing the Coyote already most of the way down when the overhead shots begin. The Coyote is a brilliant artist, capable of quickly painting lifelike renderings of such things as tunnels and roadside scenes in further and equally futile attempts to deceive the bird. Additionally, another running gag involves the Coyote trying in vain to shield himself against a great falling boulder that is about to crush him. And so you think about him holding up a little umbrella, or a very little umbrella, to keep this boulder from squashing and squishing him. This is also a good time to point out that in the early days of Jackass, Johnny Knoxville sent an email to Jeff Tremaine or whoever and said, "What about those portable holes? Can we do something with that?" And it was a Wile E. Coyote thing that apparently he thought was real. The hole, like you could take it out of the box, throw the hole on the wall, and then there's a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Knoxville facts, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The rule you know about Jackass.
That would be awesome.
They would be the state you know. The Acme Corporation, blah, blah, blah. Complex and ludicrous devices from a mail order company, the fictitious Acme Corporation. The devices invariably fail in improbable and spectacular fashion. And I think there's some part of my little comedy brain that takes the idea of things not going well, but not in the way that you assume they won't go well. Yeah.
Okay.
Where if, he lights rockets attached to skates, maybe you expect the rockets to explode. Instead, his feet go a million miles an hour and then the top of his body stays where it is, and he looks at the camera and then it rubber bands. Yeah. Something like that. And so the idea of setting up and altering expectations while not saying, they don't succeed, they just fail in a different way. I think that's internalized in me through these cartoons.
I also think, and I'll bring this up here just because, it's a good place to mention this. I haven't talked about it on the podcast. I love movies that use cartoon physics. And it's funny because it's hard to think of examples off the top of my head. But one of them is Jack Sparrow running on the wheel backwards to make it go forwards. And like doing it for a long time and going through things and actually using it. I fucking love cartoon physics. There's another movie and I can't think of what it is.
What about the movie Shoot 'Em Up, which Clive Owen was famously inspired by Bugs Bunny?
I don't remember the movie.
There are very few things I remember. One is him like falling, and he takes out a carrot and does the "What's up, Doc" joke. And I guess maybe cartoon physics of Monica Bellucci's cleavage.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I remember from it. Also, I remember my RAs were watching that movie like in the lobby, and I'm like, guys, this character is about to breastfeed. Like, we need to change the channel.
Does that really happen?
I don't know. I think there was somebody with a baby fetish, and Monica Bellucci was producing breast milk for him. Something like that. It's been a long time since I saw the movie.
Wow.
I may have got it on Netflix DVD.
Damn.
Yep. In the early 1980s, there was a humorous written article about a lawsuit brought by Wile E. Coyote against the Acme Corporation. Where was this printed? A, Mad Magazine. B, The New Yorker. C, National Lampoon. D, Playboy. In the early 80s. I think it's 1982, like July, August, September.
I'm going to narrow it down to Mad Magazine or National Lampoon.
Okay. I'm going to flip a coin.
National Lampoon.
That is correct. Very good. Also, someone's trying to log into our Con Men Show Instagram account.
Nice.
Yep. It's not either one of us. In August, September, and October 1982, the National Lampoon published a 3-part series chronicling the lawsuit Wile E. filed against the Acme Corporation over the faulty items they sold him in his pursuit of the Roadrunner. Even though the Roadrunner appeared as a witness for the plaintiff, the Coyote still lost the suit, which of course he has to.
Yeah, of course.
The original Chuck Jones productions ended in 1963 after Warner Brothers Cartoons closed. War and Pieces, blah, 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 was released in 1964. Then the DFE films came out, 5 of those. Hang on. It was a race between the Roadrunner and the fastest mouse in all Mexico, Speedy Gonzalez, with the Coyote and Sylvester the Cat each trying to make a meal out of their respective usual targets.
That's cool.
What a great concept.
I love it.
Much of the material was animation rotoscoped from earlier Roadrunner and Speedy Gonzalez shorts, with the other characters added in. So just like Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood, and another one, The Jungle Book, they use the same animation.
They use the same animation.
It was that.
So wait a minute. Let me just try to figure this out. Because they would have the separate cells.
Yep.
So why didn't they just use the cells?
Maybe lighting or background or, something like that.
Interesting.
Yep. Additionally, that's...
Oh, there were two Sylvesters too, one with a red nose.
Yeah. The studio produced 2 cartoons, including Zip Zip Hooray, that reused footage from Chuck Jones' 1962 television pilot Adventures of the Roadrunner, with the original audio kept intact. 2 more were produced in-house, and then the remaining 11 were outsourced to Format Films, blah, blah, blah. Music was of poor quality, animation. Couldn't do blah, 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 not good. Leonard Maltin, in his book of Mice and Magic, calls those 11 shorts witless in every sense of the word. I'm like, ouch, that one hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know why we need someone really getting into that or criticizing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if something is like, if Scary Movie 1 and 2 are done well,
yes,
and a different team comes along and does Scary Movies 3, 4, and 5.
I see. I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Filmation signed a contract to produce an additional series of shorts in 1971, but Warner Brothers canceled the contract following their disappointment with the Filmation-produced crossover film Daffy Duck and Porky Pig Meet the Groovy Ghoulies.
What's that? Who are the Groovy Ghoulies? Yeah, the Groovy Ghoulies.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I like them. It sounds like Bone Jones would be part of that group.
Probably. He's very groovy.
Yeah.
Multiple choice question. Which Looney Tunes character was in the title with Bugs Bunny in the show that somehow aired from 1968 to 1985? Was it A, Porky Pig, B, Daffy Duck, C, the Roadrunner, D, Tweety Bird?
It was C, the Roadrunner.
It was called the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner Show.
Which I think is really strange.
I agree. That was why I had the question, because it flummoxed me.
Yeah, because the Roadrunner he's not dynamic.
No.
He doesn't do that much different stuff besides beep and run.
Yep.
It could have been called Beep and Run. That's what the show...
Bugs and Beep and Run.
Yeah, Beep and Run. Beep and Run's not a bad name.
No.
Interesting.
Yep. They did some short films for the educational children's show, The Electric Company. These short cartoons used the Coyote and Roadrunner to display words for children to read. Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales had them chasing each other around or had the Coyote chasing the Roadrunner around the mountains. Very fun. At the end of Bugs Bunny's Portrait of the Artist as a Young Bunny, which was part of a TV special, Bugs mentions to the audience that he and Elmer Fudd may have been the first pair of characters to have chase scenes in these cartoons, but then a pint-sized baby coyote wearing a diaper and holding a small knife and fork runs right in front of Bugs, chasing a gold-colored, mostly unhatched, except for the tail, which is sticking out, Roadrunner egg, which is running rapidly, while some high-pitched beep-beep noises can be heard.
That's great. It's a great joke.
Yeah, the idea of, it's fun.
Great joke.
Then we talked a little bit about the editing. They were taking out the blackface. They were taking out not showing the boulder actually hit the coyote.
What?
ABC kept cutting it out. The unedited versions of these shorts were not seen again until Cartoon Network began showing them again in the 90s and early 2000s. And then, of course, with the DVD release, they kind of moved them off the air.
Yeah.
Other shows they appeared on, Tiny Toon Adventures. Wile E. Coyote was the dean of ACME University.
Yes. And
and the mentor of Calamity Coyote.
yes.
The Roadrunner's protege in this series was Little Beeper.
Yeah.
In the direct-to-video film Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Vacation.
How I spent my summer vacation.
Yep. The Roadrunner finally gets a taste of humiliation by getting run over by a mail truck that, quote, breaks for coyotes.
Oh.
I would have been 14 when this came out.
I love Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Do you know what happens in it?
Not even a little. I know a roadrunner gets run over by a mail truck.
This is, you know what? Maybe I'll look up the quick synopsis of it as you continue.
Sure. The roadrunner also appears in an episode of the 1991 series Tasmania.
Yes.
In which Taz grabs him by the leg and gets ready to eat him until there are two gators ready to capture Taz, so he lets the roadrunner go. In another episode of Tasmania, the cartoons are parodied, with Taz dressed as the Roadrunner and the character Willy Wombat dressed as Wile E. Coyote. Willie tries to catch Taz with Acme roller skates, but fails, and Taz even says, beep, beep.
Oh, that's great. I like Tasmania.
Wile E. made a cameo in an episode in which he gets crushed by a boulder at a boulder museum.
Oh, that's really funny.
I never watched Tasmania. Taz was never my favorite Looney Tune. I'm glad you're doing the voice. We'll get to that later.
I think Taz became big.
He sure did.
I mean, it sucks. Don't you look at Looney Tunes as a group, though? It's like...
I do.
I don't love... though I do like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
Yep.
But I'm not like Daffy rocks, Porky stinks. Like, I kind of... I look at Taz as part of, like, in the same way I look at Animal from the Muppets. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it fulfills a similar role.
I think about the kind of early to mid 90s and the Nike Hair Jordan commercial.
Yeah.
My mom bought me a bootleg Hair Jordan t-shirt, and I was like, oh, this isn't official. Like, even at 14 or 15 years old, I thought it was weird. First of all, I think it's weird now that I cared about it then.
I think
you love bootleg stuff. Can't get enough.
I'm just gonna say I think bootlegs rock.
Yeah, I know you do.
Bootlegs are cooler than the regular
legs. Yeah, give me shoe legs any day. So you were looking up How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Tiny Toons.
Would you mind if we changed to a state and you know for like 5 minutes?
You state in me.
All right, Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1992 American animated comedy film, originally intended for theatrical exhibition by Warner Brothers, featuring the characters from blah, 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 blah. Yep. It takes place between second and third seasons. Steven Spielberg served as executive producer. Blah, blah, blah.
Wow, from there to Disclosure Day.
Yes.
What a journey.
How I Spent My Summer Vacation was released on both VHS and Laserdisc in 1992. It was the first feature-length animated film to be released direct-to-video in the United States.
Whoa!
The film was later aired on television as 4 separate Tiny Toon episodes. Okay. It was one of the highest-selling videos in the U.S., listing on Billboard's Top 40 top video sales for 16 weeks in 1992. Points of praise by critics included the humor and celebrity characters, while criticism included the segmented plot. Let me give you the quick plot.
Yes.
And I hope that this is not too long. No, it's not too bad. The Tiny Toon Adventures characters excitedly prepare for their summer vacations after their term at Acme University ends.
Of course.
Babs and Buster have a water pistol fight, which eventually escalates into flooding Acme Acres.
Ugh.
The bunnies, along with Byron Bassett, which I think is a basset hound, float from flooded Acme Acres down to southern United States, where they continuously try to avoid getting eaten by the river's residents. Plucky Duck joins Hampton J. Pig and Hampton's family as they drive to the amusement park Happy World Land. I remember the song, Happy World Land, Happy World Land. The trip turns out to be very long and painfully boring for Plucky, who becomes annoyed with the family's habits and is almost killed by an escaped convict that the pigs mistake for a hitchhiker.
Okay.
And this guy has a chainsaw and a hockey mask.
Yeah.
Upon arrival at Happy World Land, the family rides the tour monorail around the park and then decide to head home, much to Plucky's dismay.
Oh my gosh, am I Hampton J. Pig?
Oh, that is your character in Tiny Toons.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Elmira Duff, upset at losing her cat Furball. Furball was like, I had a stuffed animal Furball because 1992, I'm 8.
Yep.
And this is second and third season. So 1992, I'm 8.
Yep.
So 1990, I'm 6.
Yep.
Elmira Duff, upset with losing her cat Furball, visits a nature park with her family, where she terrorizes the wild animals with her adoration. Fifi LaFume, love-struck by teenage heartthrob Johnny Pugh, becomes his put-upon assistant, unaware that he is uninterested in her. Foulmouth, which is Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And Shirley the Loon.
I don't remember at all.
Shirley the Loon. See Skunknophobia. And Fifi and Johnny attend the same film. Foulmouth disrupts throughout and is thrown out of the theater. Fifi enraged when Johnny takes her photograph of him and signs it for a bimbet. Go ahead. She's a duck.
Yeah.
She's a duck that is, I don't know what she's, who she's, an amalgam of or an analog for. Foulmouth disrupts throughout and is thrown out of the theater. Fifi, enraged when Johnny takes her photograph of him and signs it for a bimbet, physically ejects Johnny from the theater, causing him to end up with Elmira and mistakenly becomes her new kitty. Mm. After realizing that they are the main course at a dinner theater on Showboat, Babs and Buster escape with Byron's help. That's the Basset Hound. They are sought after by the hungry animals from their journey, but are rescued by a possum named Banjo, who Buster had befriended earlier. The convict returns and tries to kill them.
Wow.
Buster, Babs, Byron, and Banjo try to escape using a minecart, and the convict falls off a cliff. The quartet fall down a plot hole, which leads them through Wacky Land and back to Acme Acres.
Great.
That is amazing. The characters return to Luniversity for the fall semester.
Wow.
The idea of falling down a plot hole and just going home is so good.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Taz, Beep, 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 Cameo, Boulder Mansion. All right. They were also in Space Jam and Space Jam: A New Legacy. They were in Baby Looney Tunes in songs. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, Baby Looney Tunes. It's so weird that they had Baby Looney Tunes and Tiny Toons.
Yep. Another multiple choice question. What movie character did Wile E. Coyote parody in a 2004-2005-ish episode of the show Duck Dodgers? Was it A, Predator, B, Chucky, C, Captain Kirk, or D, Darth Maul?
I'm going Captain Kirk.
The Coyote is a hunter. He is the predator.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
He was hunting Martian Commander X2 and K9, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
In the show Lunatics Unleashed, which I didn't know existed until today, their 28th century descendants are Tech E. Coyote and Rev Runner, blah, blah,
Hold
blah.
on. What is that? What'd you call it? Looney Tunes?
Lunatics Unleashed.
What is that from?
Another show.
What year?
More recently.
Lunatics Unleashed. You can keep going.
Loonatics Unleashed. Rev Runner was voiced by our buddy Rob Paulson. And they use futuristic Acme stuff. Rev Runner is also able to talk, though extremely rapidly, and can fly without the use of jetpacks, which are used by the other member of the Lunatics.
By the way, Rob Paulson?
Yep.
Was on Funbearable technically because Brad did a panel with him and I did a panel with him. And I made him laugh with a Turtles joke.
Yes, you did.
Ready?
Yep.
Lunatics Unleashed is a 2005 to 2007 American animated series from Warner Brothers that reimagines classic Looney Tunes characters as futuristic superheroes
of course.
In the year 2772, protecting Acmetropolis from villains after a meteor grants them powers. That's cool. I never heard of that.
There was also a TV series called Wabbit, Wabbit, and it was renamed New Looney Tunes in 2017. They both appear in their own cartoon shorts in the HBO streaming series, Looney Tunes Cartoons, blah, 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 Bugs Bunny Builders. The Tiny Toons Adventures reboot, Tiny Toons Luniversity. Wile E is the science professor rather than the dean, blah, blah, blah. So... there's a movie coming out, which is why we're doing the Rohrer You Know.
Yes.
Here's a multiple choice question.
Okay.
In 1990, there was a humorous written article about a lawsuit brought by Wile E. Coyote against the Acme Corporation.
Again.
Where was this printed? A, Mad Magazine, B, The New Yorker, C, National Lampoon, D, Playboy.
I'm going to go Mad Magazine this time. It's probably not the same as National Lampoon.
It was not the same, but it was The New Yorker. Ran an article in 1990 where it's a fictional lawsuit. And that's where initially kind of the movie, it was pulling a lot from that article.
Wow.
And I find it fascinating that there were two lawsuit articles 8 years apart in wildly different publications.
Wow.
And now there's this movie.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So the movie... was announced in August 2018. Of course, it goes through its fair share of directors and writers and producers screenwriters, blah, blah, blah. It was reported that the film draws inspiration from the fictional 1990 New Yorker article of the same name by Ian Fraser. Blah, blah, blah. Credit. James Gunn, blah, blah, blah. Years before the film's announcement, around 2015, James Gunn pitched the film's concept to Warner Brothers and brought somebody in to write. What he was told to what he could and couldn't include based on other projects from the franchise that were concurrently in development, even though they were not necessarily in the conceptual phase. Yes. So initially they said you can't have Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck or the Tasmanian Devil because we're using these for other things.
Wow.
In the initial 2015 thing.
They came out with a Daffy Duck and Porky Pig full movie like last year. Do you know that? That was in theaters?
Yeah.
I heard it was awesome.
The Day the Earth Blew Up?
Something like that. Yeah, I heard it was excellent. And also, the Wile E. Coyote short with Roadrunner that was CG was also awesome.
Yes. The editor of Coyote vs. ACME described the film story as a David versus Goliath story that tackles Wile E. Coyote's persistence in the face of the ACME Corporation's cynical and casual cruelness of capitalism and corporate greed.
That's cool.
However...
Yes.
Speaking of that, on November 9th, 2023, Warner Brothers officials announced that the film was completed, but that they would not release it because Warner Brothers Discovery preferred to claim a tax loss of about $30 million.
Same thing with Batgirl, right?
This would make it the third canceled film by Warner Brothers Discovery for the sake of a write-off, following Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt.
Which is crazy.
However, both of those were finished but hadn't finished post-production.
Okay, so they weren't as far along.
Yeah. So Coyote vs. ACME was completely done, picture locked, ready to go, and they were like, no, we're not going to release it.
It's fucking... When Warner Brothers did this, wasn't it like a historic thing because no one had done this before?
Yeah, no, on this scale, it was a big deal.
Yeah, they canceled 3 movies that they had made, even though the other 2 were in post-production, still, those are movies that are made just to get tax losses is bananas. But you know what that must mean? Let me get this straight. Just between, this is outside of your facts. Doesn't that mean that they would believe that the movie would make less than that in theaters?
I don't know if it's necessarily that, or maybe they expect to make, I guess, less than a $30 million profit. So maybe if
the movie with marketing costs $60 million, then the movie would have to make $90 million
and $1, and they were like, our best projection is $89 million. Even though, can
I ask one question?
Yeah.
Would it have to make $60 million or $90 million because they're making $30 million in taxes from spending $30 million, and they still spent the $30 million? So wouldn't it be 60?
Oh, I don't understand. Sure. Then it would have to be $120 million. Yeah.
No, it would be 60 or 90.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's bizarre to me. Hollywood accounting makes no sense to me. I think famously for years, people like the accountants claimed that Raiders of the Lost Ark wasn't profitable.
So they didn't have to pay the person who painted the poster.
Yeah. However, the movie E.T. originally had a different director lined up, and Steven Spielberg was like, this movie feels really personal. I'd like to make it. And so they paid the guy to not make the movie, and he kept getting residuals from E.T. And he's like, yeah, the most profitable film I've ever made was not directing E.T.
Yeah, they said, I listened to it yesterday, and there was a movie. Oh, it was Lance Henriksen.
Mm-hmm.
They made Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Then they made Aliens 2, which included Lance Henriksen as Bishop. No, as one of the
Jonesy
Marines.
the cat, yeah.
As one of the Marines.
Yeah. Smithy the cat.
Yes. And Lance Henriksen, was it Bishop? Maybe it wasn't Lance Henriksen. It was one of the Marines.
Yep.
Sorry, it was not Lance Henriksen. It was one of the Marines, and he was huge in Aliens. He was basically, I think, the second lead.
Okay.
And they were like, we want to kill you off at the beginning of Alien 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I'm not going to sign on for it. I don't want to be killed off. And so they were like, they basically were like, well, we need this character to have an explanation, and they wrote him out, and they needed to use his likeness. And he said, and he basically granted them the ability to use his likeness, and he said he got paid more for that than he did for Aliens.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
It really and truly is.
It's bananas. And there's another example of someone who was supposed, I think Marlon Wayans was supposed to be Robin.
Yes.
And they had to pay him residuals to not be in it because he had already signed for it or something like that.
When Chris O'Donnell was Robin.
Robin. It's crazy.
Also, Warner Brothers Discovery initially told the people who made the movie, like, no, it's our, like, you can't shop it around. We're not going to sell it. We're just going to take the tax write-off. And eventually they kind of reversed course on that. Went around and, you know, like the director said, oh, we've got these people interested. And other people were like, they were never really interested. He was just trying to, like, drum up a market, blah, blah, blah.
Wow. Can I do some quick math and you tell me if this makes sense?
Sure.
I'm just going to do it. Warner Brothers spends $30 million to make it.
Sure.
So let's say negative $30 million.
Right.
$30 million. If they do a tax write-off, it's plus $30 million.
Sort of.
Is that right?
It's not like they get all that money back.
But they take it away from how much they have to spend on taxes.
Yeah.
So let's call it plus $30 million.
Sure.
So that puts them at zero in terms of spent on the movie.
Right.
Okay. Now, if they put it out, Warner Brothers, negative $30 million, right?
Yep.
Cost that much. Then let's say they spend $30 million on marketing. That's the math you're supposed to use.
Yep.
They use the same amount. So now they're at negative $60 million.
Right.
So they got to zero last time.
Yep.
So to get back to zero, they'd only have to make $60 million.
But they also have to pay the extra taxes on the money they spent.
On the money they made, you mean?
Well, I guess they have to. They're not getting the tax write-off, so that is also a minus.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen the movie or the play The Producers, but it's that is our problem. That we have a system that disincentivizes releasing finished projects.
Wow.
On March 19th, 2025, Deadline reported that Ketchup Entertainment was in talks to acquire all rights to the film from Warner Brothers for approximately $50 million. This was the company that distributed The Day the Earth Blew Up. Blah, blah, blah. They did it March 31st. It's a multiple choice question. Given the controversy surrounding the tax write-off status for the movie for a few years, which appropriate date was the first teaser released in 2026? A, March 15th, B, April 1st, C, April 15th, D, Chuck don't know nothing about taxes.
Well, D first,
yes,
but B
D is
my second.
April 1st, April Fool's Day? It's actually April 15th, tax day.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
That's hilarious. They did it on purpose?
Yeah. And it was like, you know, like they were using hashtags and all that. So with all that in mind, like that was the background of Coyote versus Acme, which I think the release date is August 28th. I'm sure this episode will go up around that time.
Yes.
And, you know, they cast John Cena, I think, as the antagonist, and Will Forte and all these other great actors in it.
Yeah.
And man, it got me thinking about Looney Tunes in general.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, I have a short answer section here for you.
Okay.
You are going to hate this.
Okay.
Please do your best impressions of the following characters. Bugs Bunny. I also have lines for them to say.
This is going to be bad.
Sylvester the Cat.
This is going to be bad.
Foghorn Leghorn. Elmer Fudd. Yosemite Sam.
Oh my God.
2, 3, 4,
What the
5,
fuck?
6. Taz. And Marvin the Martian.
This is ridiculous. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Funbearable this week.
You know, I think this will make a fun clip for social media. You know, you're always talking about how good you are at Jason Statham. This, you know, hop, skip, and a jump to these characters. So any of those characters now, I have 7 characters and I have 7 lines from 7 different films. But if you'd like to do a different movie quote, you certainly can. The point of this is to get clips.
Oh my God.
Or a clip.
I'm going to look like such an asshole.
I mean, you did the Donald Trump one in a recent clip and people loved it.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You were like, what does he do? What does he say? And I said, huge. And then you did whatever line. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't remember.
All right. So one line you can do as one of these characters from The Fast and the Furious. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
I'm just going to knock them out in order. You
Yep.
said
Bugs Bunny. Yep.
This is so... I'm going to look like such an idiot.
Bugs Bunny from The Fast and the Furious, master impressionist, Chuck Staten, right now.
I hate this. Meh. Yeah. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I don't know,
Doc.
man.
Yeah, and then you just throw a doc at the end.
Doc.
That
was so gruff.
Oh my gosh, I tried doing these in the car on the way here, and I drove off a cliff because I sounded so bad. And I'm like, I'm gonna have so much fun making Chuck.
This is humiliating.
Sylvester the Cat from a different. Yep. I'm trying to think of which one is funniest. From The Dark Knight. You want to know how I got these scars? Sylvester the Cat.
Is there any with more S's?
Not really. You know what? Sylvester the Cat with a line from Basic Instinct. What are you going to do? Charge me with smoking?
I can't even.
I know
crazy.
it's so hard to hook them on.
What are you going to do? What is it?
That's pretty good. Charge me with smoking?
What are you going to do? Charge me with smoking?
That's pretty good.
I don't know.
You know, it's better than Bugs Bunny, that's for sure.
Shit.
Oh my gosh, I scrolled. I accidentally scrolled.
I hate this
all right,
so much.
That's fine. Foghorn Leghorn as yeah, this makes sense. Dr. Loomis from Halloween.
Oh my God, I fucking hate this.
I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
I realized that what
was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
These lines are tough to remember. I'll say. I realized, this is fucking, I realized that what was behind that boy's eyes was purely simple and evil. I don't know. I can't do it.
Elmer Fudd.
Oh, fuck.
It's all right. We only have a couple more. Elmer Fudd.
I'm going to do this to you someday.
I'll leave. Elmer Fudd in Jurassic Park as Samuel L. Jackson saying, "Hold on to your butts." Elmer Fudd, Jurassic Park.
There's nothing with R's in it?
I mean, you know, if you think of a different movie quote, you can certainly do it. I honestly was looking at Warner Brothers movies and just scrolling through to keep them all in the family.
Elmer Fudd. It's hard to even remember what he sounds like, to be honest. Like,
he has the wabbit, right?
I know he has that, but let me see. I'm gonna cheat and look it up real quick.
Sure.
Elmer Fudd. Let's see what he sounds like. Okay, this Bugs and Daffy.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, here we go. This is it. This is. He's gonna say, "I'm hunting wabbits." Ready?
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Honestly, just that Elmer Fudd impression is good.
One, Forrest, one.
How about a Yosemite Sam line? You could do "Hold on to your butts."
All I think of is shooting guns.
Yep.
This is hell. This is truly hell. The listeners hate this. They're like, turn it off. We don't want to hear him. He sucks at these impressions.
You really do. Fine. We can skip to Taz, which you already did.
Okay.
And then Marvin the Martian.
But does Taz speak?
No. Yeah. And then maybe you get like 2 real words in there, like animal.
Yeah.
Marvin the Martian as Captain America. I can do this all day.
I can't.
That's a good start. Marvin the Martian as
I
Captain
can do
America.
this all day.
Yes.
That's okay.
I honestly, I liked your Sylvester the Cat the most.
Oh, God.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
And, it gives us a new respect for people like Rob Paulson or Maurice LaMarche,
Yeah.
who also, I think they both have voices in Coyote versus ACME.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about the Looney Tunes vis-a-vis the Muppets.
Yeah.
One of our favorite films, not just Muppet films, but films, is The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
And the idea of using this cast of characters to retell a classic story just seems like untapped potential.
I think the Looney Tunes did a couple.
Yeah.
They did, they did Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they did, to be honest. I don't know if they did anything
I
else.
mean, yeah. I mean, they Muppet Treasure Island, but the idea of...
Oh, I thought you meant the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I know. But the idea of like, well, what other books, could you do a Mark Twain story, Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn with these characters?
Well, you could also do some classics. I mean,
I had the idea of like Norse mythology, but it was more like because Bugs Bunny is a trickster, is Loki essentially. And then I was like, oh, like who is Odin in
you could
this?
do like, couldn't you do all the Disney properties like Pinocchio and Cinderella and Snow White?
Is more, yeah. I mean, those are more fairy tales than Disney properties.
No, sorry. Well, I meant
Yeah.
properties that they have also tapped into.
Yeah. Is there a version of Pinocchio with the Warner Brother or with the Looney Tunes characters? Is there a version of, boy, I'm just thinking of like Moby Dick, but like clearly that's a terrible idea. But I guess retelling these big classic stories.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Norse mythology, I thought of, Loki. And then I was like, well, Coyote. But it's
funny.
because we just, I just looked up Coyote stuff all day. And then I was like, well, he does have two little ravens. And so the idea of two Daffy Ducks as, I don't remember the names. And then Yosemite Sam as Thor, who is famous for having red hair and a temper.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm like, well, what stories from Norse mythology do people know?
Yeah.
And then my brain just word and
yeah. I think there's a lot of Brothers Grimm stuff that you could do.
Yeah.
That's probably in public domain. And you can also do the Lion King thing, where Lion King is just its own thing, but it's based on Hamlet.
Yeah.
And the kids don't have to even know that.
Right.
So you could take a tale and make it that.
It's weird because I don't think Looney Tunes seems interested in doing that, because they did Looney Tunes Back in Action in like 2003, maybe, with Brendan Fraser and Jenna Elfman.
They did Space Jam 2.
Space Jam 2
was rough
so
as
clearly
hell.
they're not concerned about doing great films.
Yeah.
And they want to put the Clockwork Orange guys in the background for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, we
was the
did
best.
pop culture mashups, pitches.
because of it.
Yeah, on the old podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just trying to think of where else we could, if Warner Brothers like backed up a truck of money and said, Chuck, Brad, we need you guys to write the next Looney Tunes movie, we would take it. Doesn't have to be a big truck.
Can I tell you what they should do?
Please.
They should, instead of thinking of classic properties like you're talking about,
Yeah.
just do Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to pay for it.
Right.
Like, I mean, they touched on it in Space Jam.
Yeah,
What
with
did they
Granny
do?
doing the Matrix. Yeah.
Like the Matrix is one. Like, didn't they go to like a bunch of planets and do
Yeah.
it? They could do that. Well, they kind of did it in a small way in that movie where they went to the Warner Brothers planets. and-
If
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
The Looney Tunes Wizard of Oz.
That's the way to go.
I think that's a really solid idea.
Yeah.
And now that we have a solid idea, which Looney Tune is playing what role?
Dorothy, do you want to do... It's tough. There's not a lot of women Looney Tunes.
Granny, Lola Bunny, or is Dorothy?
You could do Lola Bunny.
Is it Dorothy, and it's just a drawn Dorothy, and then everyone else,
That's not bad.
maybe Taz is her little pet that never speaks.
Oh, yeah.
Little Taz in a basket.
Yeah.
I think of it's weird because I think that Bugs kind of has to be the Wizard of Oz, but the
Or
Wizard
is he
of Oz,
one of the three?
Yeah.
Because he would be in it the whole time.
yeah, I think Daffy Duck is the Tin Man. no brain.
Yeah.
No brain in that Daffy Duck. And then...
Or is it like Elmer Fudd, though? Because he seems stupid.
I thought of Elmer Fudd as the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And so,
I'm looking it up to make sure it hasn't happened.
Who is then the Scarecrow?
We're too late.
Sorry.
We're too late.
Really?
Looney Tunes have crossed over with Wizard of Oz primarily in short parodies and mashups. Most notably, they released an official animated short featuring Lola as Dorothy,
Wow.
Bugs as the Tin Man, Wile E. Coyote as the Scarecrow, and Sylvester as the Cowardly Lion.
I guess that makes more sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then somebody like Elmer or, Porky Pig as the voice of the wizard, where you immediately know what's going on.
Yeah.
Is very fun.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of runway
Yeah.
when you're talking about having the Looney Tunes adapt existing properties.
Agreed.
I think there's a lot of room for original projects as well, but an alternating thing.
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do a Pitch Doctors Looney Tunes.
I would be in.
All right, let's kind of think about when we could do that makes sense.
Yep.
Pitch Doctors Looney Tunes.
Live on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Pitch Doctors Looney Tunes. Let's put that in our back pocket. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would go Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I can't think of DC.
Yeah.
But there's actually, there's a lot
Yes.
of Warner Brothers DC crossover characters.
Man,
So.
the bugs who lived as Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I thought about like the idea of, because I think there's like a Justice League Looney Tunes
Crossover
thing,
thing.
but I
There
was
is.
just thinking of other movies in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes do Interstellar, probably not gonna
That's funny though.
land super well.
Yeah, they just do it completely serious.
Oh,
Deadpan.
I would love it.
That's hilarious.
I would love to see Looney Tunes do A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's
Yeah.
completely straight
yeah.
until like the very end.
Yeah.
You could always go the Muppets route, where the story of the Looney Tunes do Hamlet, and it's them trying to put on the play of Hamlet.
Yeah, there's also that. Yeah. Muppets are more fit for that.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
That was great, man. Thank you.
So, folks, we hope you learned a thing or two about Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, and Coyote versus Acme, and Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation.
Yes.
It was really interesting. Like, in my mind, there were hundreds of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner shorts.
Yeah, it's
But
hard.
it's because they're all very similar.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you remember the one where he got an Acme thing and then got crushed by a rock? And it's like, oh, I've seen this one. Turn it off.
Yeah.
It's and it was always on.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, it was on WGN, in and around Chicago, and that was kind of like a thing that I knew I could turn on and
sure.
watch. Whether it was like, oh, it's on before G.I. Joe or after Mask or whatever show I was watching at the time.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I have to have watched them on reruns in some way. I don't even know if Looney Tunes did like half hours really on channels that I watched, or if it was shown as like shorts in between. I don't know. But yeah, man, I love Wile E. Coyote and Looney Tunes. That was great.
Yeah.
That was really great.
Also, Chuck Jones is such a respected name in animation, but if his name were Chuck Smith, would he be as popular?
Nope. And Bones Jones probably wouldn't even be named Bones Jones.
Folks, if you have questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise, send us an email, funbearablepod@gmail.com. What is your favorite Looney Tune? Is there a joke or a gimmick that really tickles you? We'd love to hear about it. You can also find us on socials at funbearablepod. You can also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/funbearablepod, $2.50 a month, access to over 400 old back episodes of the Chuck and Brad podcast, which was the podcast that predated this. Are those the Chuck Jones episode of this relationship? Are these the Chuck Jones episodes? Or are we all living in the reused, hacky, like right now it's Chuck just nodded once and we're just reusing the footage of him nodding his head the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just on a loop.
Exactly.
We've got the best editor in the world, Craig Depina, making it work for us.
Yep.
But man, we're always happy to hear from you. And like I said, it was fun taking a dive, taking a leap off the Coyote cliff.
I love it, man. I love it. That's great.
So cool. Well, with that in mind, for Chuck Staten, I'm Brad Rohrer saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.
All right. I did a bunch of impressions.
Yes, you did.
I'd like you to do one.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Just one.
Yeah, no problem. Happy
Okay.
to do it.
You have to do.
Uh-huh.
You can't handle the truth.
Okay, great. Yeah, no
Right?
problem.
Few good men.
Yeah, you can't handle the truth. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You ready?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me tell you the character.
I don't have to do it just as myself?
No, here's the character.
Okay.
He's the lead character.
Uh-huh.
So you should be able to do this.
Oh, yeah,
Really
definitely.
easy. It's a Disney movie.
Nailing
Disney
it.
movie.
Nailing it. No problem.
Yeah. Lead character from Song of the South.
Now, I think the lead character in Song of the South sounds a little something like this. I'm trying to get some rasp in my voice. I'm Chuck Staten and I'm so cool. You can't handle the truth.
I thought you weren't going to do it. And I'm so proud of you for putting your dick out there and letting people hear everything that comes out of it.
You heard it here first. Chuck Staten is the main character in Song of the South.
Oh, that's not right.
Well, he started his line with your signature line.
I thought you did the actual character.
No!
Craig, end it right after he does it so people
No!
think.
Don't! Craig, no!
Cut it now!
In a world where there ain't nothing to laugh about, they're two special idiots now. Hear me out. Chuck's laugh is Friday.